Hello, my students. Hope you are enjoying my videos. So, today I'm here with a topic production possibility curve. In short, it is known as PPF. So, in order to understand the different MCQs, you should have a thorough understanding of the subject matter. Then only you can understand because MCQ does not depend on your learning ability. It depends on your understanding and your reasoning ability. Okay, so let's discuss. So what do you mean by production possibility curve? See, we know that the resources are limited, and using that limited resources we have to produce different commodities. So let's take example of two commodities X and commodities Y. As resources are limited, you cannot produce as much as commodity X or as much as commodity Y. If you want to produce more of commodity X, then you have to sacrifice the production of commodity Y. That is, production of more of X means the production of less of Y, or the production of more of Y means the production of less of X. So if we use that resources, then we may get different combinations of the two inputs that can be produced by with the help of that resources or with the help of technology. That is, if you can produce 5 units of X and 3 units of Y, or if you can produce 7 units of X and 2 units of Y, that will be the different combination. So production possibility curve is a curve or a locus which shows the various alternative production possibilities of goods or two commodities, say X and Y, that can be produced with given resources and techniques of production. Okay, that is, it may be 10-8, it may be 12-6, it may be 14-4, like that. You can have different combinations of the two commodities, but you cannot produce more of both commodities because of the limited resources. So with the given resources and the given level of technology, different combinations of the two products that can be produced can be depicted through a curve, and that curve is known as production possibility curve. And this curve is also known as transformation curve or production possibility frontier. Okay, it is also known as production possibility frontier. And a very important thing is, we know the central problems of economic system, and this PPF is an important tool to solve the central problems of an economic system. So the central problems of an economic systems can be solved with the help of this PPF, because central problem is what to produce, how much to produce. That is important. Okay, so how much to produce, that can be solved with the help of the production possibility curve. Okay, so you may get different combinations of the two outputs that can be produced with a given level of technology, and that combinations is known as production possibility schedule, just like a demand schedule. What is demand schedule? It is a schedule which shows the different combinations of price and quantity demanded. Likewise, the table showing different possibilities of production of two goods is called production possibility schedule. So production possibility schedule is a table or a schedule which shows the different combinations of two commodities, say X and Y, that can be produced with a given level of technology and the given amount of resources. Now, this production possibility schedule or a curve is based on certain assumptions. Okay, production PPF is based on certain assumptions, and the assumption is, see, the resources available are fixed. That is, resources are constant. Okay, we will be having only a fixed supply of resources. So resources available are fixed. These are the assumptions of production possibility curve. Number two, the technology remains unchanged. So PPF, while drawing PPF, we have to make certain assumptions, and that assumption is, number one, the resources available are fixed. Number two, the technology remains unchanged. That is, the level of technology is constant. The resources are fully employed. That is, we are using each and every unit of resources available. So the resources are fully employed. And number four, the resources available are not equally efficient in production of all the goods. See, the resources, with the help of the resources, we can produce different types of goods, okay? But with the help of the resources, you cannot produce efficiently the all types of goods. So if resources are transferred from the production of one goods to another goods, the marginal opportunity cost increases. That is, you can produce more of X and more of Y. But the amount of X you can produce that amount of resources, you cannot produce that amount of Y by using that amount of resources is used in the production of X, because uh, resources are not efficient in production of all the goods. So when you have to produce more of X, then you have to sacrifice more and more of Y to get more and more of X. Because of that, the marginal opportunity cost, which is also known as marginal rate of technical substitution, increases. That is, if you want to produce one extra unit of Y, then you have to sacrifice more than one unit of Y. That is, more and if you want to produce more and more of Y, then you have to sacrifice more and more of X. That is, in order to sacrifice 2 extra unit of Y, then you have to sacrifice 3 or 4 extra unit of X. That is why the marginal rate of technical substitutions increases. Okay, these are the assumptions of production possibility curve. Resources are constant, the technology remains constant, resources are fully employed, resources available not equally efficient production of all the goods. So with the given resources, you can produce more of X, but you can produce the same level of Y, because with the given resources, you cannot produce efficiently all the different commodities. Okay, now we'll move to the production properties of production possibility curve, CPPF. What is the property? And this is very important from your MCQ point of view. So it has two basic properties. Okay, it has two basic properties. Production possibility curves has two basic properties. One is, it is downward sloping curve from left to right. So it is negatively sloped curve. Okay, it is downward sloping curve from left to right. Left to right. Downward sloping curve from left to right. Why it is downward sloping from left to right? It is because to increase the production of one good, we have to decrease the production of the other good. Because of this inverse relation, PPC is negatively sloped. That is number one of properties is production possibility curves is negatively sloped. It is downward sloping. So it slopes downward from left to right. Why it slopes downward from left to right? Because if you want to produce more of one commodity, then you have to reduce the production of other commodity. Okay, so if we increase the production of commodity Y, then we have to reduce the production of commodity X. Or if you want to increase the production of commodity X, then you have to reduce the production of commodity Y. Because of limited resources, we cannot produce more of both goods. So more of one commodity means the less of another commodity. Because of this, the production possibility curve is negatively sloped or downward sloping. And another important properties of production possibility curve is the shape of the production possibility curve is concave to the origin. It's like opposite C. It is concave to the origin, like it is. See my finger. So it is it's like it is like opposite C. Opposite C. So C should be like this, and if it is like this, it is a concave to the origin. Okay, the production possibility curve is concave to the origin. It is because the marginal opportunity cost or marginal rate of technical substitution tends to right. Why it is concave to the origin? Because in order to produce more of one good, you have to sacrifice more and more of another goods. So that's why the marginal opportunity cost, or MRTP, which is known as marginal technical substitution, tends to rise. Because of the marginal rate of technical substitution, the shape of the production possibility curve is concave to the origin. So why production possibility curve is concave to the origin? Because of the marginal rate of technical substitution. And what do we mean by MRTP? Now MRTP. So MRTP means the marginal rate of technical substitution. So it is the rate at which the quantity of output of one commodity is sacrificed to produce one more units of another commodity. See, if I want to produce one extra unit of Y, how many units of X I have to sacrifice? That is MRTP. So if I continuously keep on increasing Y, then for one extra unit of Y, I have to sacrifice more units of X. That is what is called marginal rate of technical substitution. So it is the rate at which the quantity of output of one commodity, say X, is sacrificed to produce one more unit of another commodity, say Y. Thus, MRTP is calculated in terms of the loss of output for every additional unit of X produced when resources are shifted from Y to X. That is, if you want to produce more of X, then you have to sacrifice more of Y. Then the resources should be used in production of X, sacrificing the production of Y. So, while getting one extra unit of Y, you have to sacrifice some units of Y, and that is what is denoted by marginal rate of technical substitution. Now we'll study the shape of PPC. Okay, what will be the shape of production possibility curve? Now, see, what is the shape of the production possibility curve? So actually, production possibility curve is concave to the origin, but that is not only the case. You may have different shapes also. The shape of PPC depends on marginal rate of transformation. Marginal rate of transformation, or MRTP, as stated below. Okay, as the MRTP rises, as we keep on sacrificing more of as we keep on producing more of one commodity by sacrificing another commodity. So if MRT, marginal rate of transformation, or MRTP, is rising, then PPC will be concave to the origin, which is always the case. Okay, it is always the case. So the shape of PPC is always concave. So if marginal rate of technical substitution keeps on rising, then definitely production possibility curve will concave to the origin. But if MRTP is constant and marginal rate of transformation is constant, then PPC will be a straight line. So when PPC will be a straight line, if marginal rate of transformation is constant, that is, in order to produce one more extra unit of X, you have to sacrifice only one unit of Y. That is, if you want to produce two more extra unit of Y, then you have to sacrifice two more unit of X. Then that is, you are sacrificing equal unit. Okay, and then in that case it will be convex to the origin, but it is not possible in the real life. Okay, as we keep on sacrificing, if you keep on producing more of one commodity, then you have to sacrifice much more of another commodity, because resources are not efficient in production of both the commodities or all the commodities. Okay, so if MRT, that is marginal rate of transformation, is rising, then PPC is concave to the origin. If MRT is constant, then production possibility curve will be a straight line. On the other hand, if MRT is falling, then PPC will be convex to the origin, which is the best shape. That is, that there may be three shapes of the production possibility curve. If MRT, that is marginal rate of transformation, rising, then production possibility curve will be concave to the origin. If MRTP, marginal rate of transformation, is constant, then it will be a straight line. And lastly, if MRT is falling, if it is decreasing, then production possibility curve will be convex to the origin. Okay, but in reality, PPF is concave to the origin, but it may be concave, or it may be convex, or it may be a straight line, depending upon the marginal rate of transformation. Okay, and lastly, the shift of the production possibility curve. Okay, the PPF will shift under the following two conditions. When the production possibility curve will shift, the production possibility curve will shift only when the two situation arises. And number one is change in resources, and number two is change in technology of production of both the goods. when the resources changes, when the amount of resources changes, or when the technology of production changes, then the production possibility curve will shift either to the left or to the right. PPF can shift either rightward or leftward. Okay, that is very important. It may shift rightward or leftward if there is increase in resources, or if the level of technology improves, then PPF will move to the right. Okay, it shifts to the right when there is increase in resources or improvement in technology or production in the economy. Okay, see, when does PPF shift to the right? It shifts to the right when there is increase in the amount of resources and there is improvement in technology. And when does it shift to the left? It shifts to the left when there is decrease in the supply of resources, or there is degradation in the technology. Instead of improvement technology, there is degradation in technology. So if the technological degrades, then the production possibility curve will shift to the left. Okay, it will shift to the left. So production possibility curve may shift due to change in resources or due to change in the technology. If resources increases and there is improved technology, it shifts to the right. And if there is a decrease in supply of resources and if there is degradation technology, then production possibility curve will shift to the left. So this much for today. So tomorrow I will come with another video. Till then, goodbye.